Hi Ignite group, good to see you today, and a little video, a little story for you for this Sunday, just before we hopefully in the next couple of weeks can come back into church. One more little bit of teaching via way of video link, and I just want to think today about someone who was given a promise by God, and I wonder if God said to you, that God's all powerful. That's what we believe about God. He's all powerful. He can do anything he wants. He has the power to do anything he chooses. If God said to you, I'm going to give you one thing, just one thing, but choose wisely, choose carefully, but you can have basically whatever you want. What's your choice? I wonder what you'd pick. I wonder what you would choose. Could be all sorts of things. Unlimited money. Maybe this pandemic comes to an end immediately. Maybe it's that health and prosperity for all my family, peace for the world. It could be all sorts of things, some of which are very nice and good for everyone, and others which are perhaps a little bit more selfish. Maybe that I'll marry the right person, or live in a fantastic house, always have the dream job, or be able just to live in luxury forever. It could be all sorts of things. So, as I say, some selfish and some a little bit more thinking about others. But I want to tell you the story from the Bible about a man who was given a promise like this from God. And he was given that because God loved his father David, and he saw David as a man after his own heart. And David's son was called Solomon. He was one of many sons of David, actually. But Solomon was the one that they chose to become the king after David. And after Solomon became king, this is what happened. That night, the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream, and God said, "What do you want? Ask, and I'll give it to you." Solomon replied, "You showed faithful love to your servant, my father David, because he was honest and true and faithful to you. And you have continued your faithful love to him today by giving him a son to sit on his throne. Now, O Lord my God, you have made me king instead of my father David, but I am like a little child who doesn't know his way around. And here I am in the midst of your chosen people, a nation so great and numerous they cannot be counted. Give me an understanding heart so that I can govern your people well and know the difference between right and wrong. For who by himself is able to govern this great people of yours?" The Lord was pleased that Solomon had asked for wisdom. So God replied, "Because you have asked for wisdom in governing my people with justice, and have not asked for a long life, or wealth, or the death of your enemies, I will give you what you asked for. I will give you a wise and understanding heart, such as no one else has had or ever will have. And I will also give you what you did not ask for, riches and fame. No other king in all the world will be compared to you for the rest of your life. And if you follow me and obey my decrees and my commands as your father David did, I will give you a long life." And then Solomon woke up and realized it had been a dream. You know what? The dream came true. Solomon had this amazing amount of money and splendor and wealth. He had peace in his kingdom, and he also possessed that which he asked God for, amazing wisdom. People came from miles around to ask him for advice and to hear his words of wisdom. Solomon, in asking for wisdom, chose wisely. And he asked for something which wasn't selfish. It was based on the fact that he loved his people and wanted to do the best for them. And also that he was humble enough. Humble means when we realize we can't do it all on our own. We need some help from somewhere. He was humble enough to realize he wouldn't be a good king on his own. He needed God's help, God's wisdom, and God's leading. And Solomon basically put himself under God's authority and said, "God, help me. I need your help to run the kingdom." Massive responsibility. I don't think anyone else is going to have that sort of responsibility. But in our own lives, we have all sorts of things we need help with, whether it's at school, our exams, whether it's just how we live our lives, whether it's just choosing for God when other people maybe at school are saying, "No, I don't believe in God," or I don't like what you're saying about Jesus. Just the wisdom and the strength to answer them well and to show them God's love and to be a good example and a help to others. And it's really wise to actually ask God to give us wisdom. He will never say no to that. If we ask him for wisdom, I believe he'll always, if we pray for wisdom, I believe he'll always answer that prayer. and help us to live in the right way, a godly way, a way which points to Jesus. But God is there for us. He's there to help us. He promises never to leave or forsake us. And if you've not put your trust in him yet, you can put your trust in him. Remember, Jesus died for you, and he rose again, and he lives. And he's promised that he'll come into our hearts if we ask him. And he will give us wisdom. He will help us to live for him. May we make the right choices. May we look to do right by other people and to love the Lord our God who loved us first. May you have a really good week. I do look forward to seeing you hopefully in December. All the best. God bless.